According to the World Health Organization, as of 2016, there were over 41 million obese children in the world under the age of 5. In the United States, cancer and suicide round out 2 of the top 3 causes of death in children ages 5 to 14. The United States falls significantly behind other countries in our children's standardized test scores. The purpose of this study is to determine whether there is an impact on children scholastically and physically if the principles of the Blue Zone communities are implemented during school. There is a movement sweeping the nation that hopes to change this pandemic afflicting American children. It's called the Blue Zone Project and is based on the ideals set forth by Buettner in 2009. His concept was simple. There are 5 blue zones in the world: Sardinia, Italy; Okinawa, Japan; Ikaria, Greece; Nicoya Peninsula, Costa Rica; and Loma Linda, California. Due to their lifestyles that balance healthy eating, activity, and mindset, the people in these areas commonly live past 100. This is based on 9 principles that have been shown to extend the quality and longevity of life. These principles are move naturally, purpose, downshift, 80% rule, plant slant, wine at 5, belong, loved ones first, and right tribe. The purpose of this research and how this philosophy affects our children, we will focus on 3 areas: move naturally, plant slant, and right tribe. How specifically will children benefit from following the principles of the Blue Zone philosophy? What projects can school and local governments implement that embrace these concepts and give our children the opportunity to achieve and maintain wellness throughout their lives? To answer these questions, the study will address fitness, nutrition, and wellness programs in our schools. These elements should be part of a child's everyday routine. Research will show the effects of well-balanced physical fitness and nutritional programs on children in the 5th, 7th, and 9th grade. Participants for this study are 5th, 7th, and 9th graders from 3 cities across the United States: Fort Worth, Texas; Los Angeles, California; and Chicago, Illinois. Boys and girls will participate. There will be children who partake in the National Lunch Program and those who do not. The class size will vary. There will be 4 schools in each city, 2 from a higher income area and 2 from a lower income area. 1 school from each of these areas will participate in the intervention, and 1 school from each area is the control group. Because we have 3 areas of study in this research, we will be focusing on ratios of our BMI and exercise with the effect on test scores, ordinal measurements based on what was selected in our observational study of the lunchroom program, and ratios compared between the beginning and ending BMI through the walking bus program. Nominal measurements will be utilized for the garden and life skills portion. As stated before, there will be 3 phases to this study: fitness, nutrition, and wellness. The study will take place over a year. There will be 3 areas of this study, and we will talk about each one of them individually. These children will be provided a journal. There will also be a website at each school that these children will use for interactive studies and participation. Phase 1 is fitness. What is the correlation between lower aerobic exercise and standardized test scores? Before the test will begin, parents or guardians will be contacted through the school and consent forms will be signed. The children's BMI will be taken and their cardiovascular health will be notated by a release of a physical done prior to the testing. A complete medical report will be evaluated to make sure there is no physical nor neurological disabilities that might keep them from participating in the study and altering the results. It will also be noted if they are right or left-handed. The selected children's current standardized test scores will be collected and retained for further comparison to the study. This portion of the fitness area focuses on 15, 15, 30. 15 minutes of physical activity at the beginning of the school every day, a 15-minute recess before class and before lunch, 30 minutes of exercise at home every evening. At the end of the year, analysis between the prior BMI and the standardized test scores compared with current findings. Those findings will be compared to the control school. Phase 2, nutrition. What lunchroom selections will children make when nutritionally balanced foods are offered in a creative way that is age appropriate? This nutritional portion of the study will focus on the 4 R's: restructure, redesign, relate, and reduce. The intervention will include changing placement of more nutritious foods to the front and eye level of the children. These foods will be repackaged in a way that is more visually appealing to adolescents. The cafeteria will have animated posters of superfood heroes that children can relate to. There will be interactive games that children can play, like bingo. When they fill the required squares, they can trade in their card for free lunch tickets or treats. The 9th graders will be offered incentives through points that can be traded in for free homework passes, hall passes, and points on tests. There will be nutritious bundling of fruits, nuts, and vegetables. These bundles will also include a dessert. Reduced pricing of healthier snack options will be offered. A smoothie bar will be installed and maintained by lunch staff so that students can order these fares. Phase 3 of this study focuses on wellness. How will this study help children learn about whole foods and making healthier lifestyle changes? This study will implement 2 factors into the wellness program. The first one is a school garden. The school will partner with the city to establish a school garden. It should be located on or near the school. The garden will be solely maintained by the participants of the study. The children will prepare, plant, and harvest the produce. They will be divided into teams that will rotate throughout the week to work in the school garden. They will also have a life skills class. This class will teach the importance of plant-based meals and how to grow your own garden creatively at home. They will learn basic agriculture tips on naturally fertilizing the soil and when to plant certain crops throughout the year. Participants will also learn about the food pyramid and where to implement their protein and how valuable that is in their health as well. The students will use the harvest of the garden in their life skills lab, where they will learn how to cook basic meals. They will also create recipes that will be uploaded onto the school's website. There will be videos that will be made on the garden's progress and those will also be uploaded to the school's website where anyone can view them. The city will facilitate a walking school bus program. There will be allocated bus stops where a certified school walker will escort the children to school. Children that participate in this study will be provided appropriate footwear and attire. There will be sign-in sheets, a website to upload when they participated, and a personal journal for records. This all depends on the daily weather. So weather permitting is when this will be running. There will be a study coordinator who will meet with the school coordinator 3 times a week for progress reports and task completion. Once a month, there will also be a progress check on the overall function of this particular program. At the end of the school year, BMI of children will be measured and a current physical will be given. Newest standardized test scores will be pulled. A study will compare the findings between the prior data and the current findings. Current data will be cross-referenced with the control group schools in the related fields. The School Garden website and all learning material will be put in place for the control group schools. The results were analyzed, and based on the ratio and observations, the result varied based on the level of participation of the child. But the overall study showed that 60 minutes of exercise a day improves a child's cognitive thinking, and they are less likely to be obese. There are links between a reduced BMI and a higher standardized test score. Results of the nutrition portion of this study showed that there was a success with the redesigned lunchroom program. Nutritional foods were consumed equally to lower nutritional offerings when repackaged, reduced in price, and presented in a fun way. As you can see, the results in the wellness category were successful. There was a success in the School Garden Life Skills course. There was an exit test that showed a better understanding of a nutritionally based diet with a plant slant. 75 completed the course and 25% kept incomplete records. As you can see, the walking school bus program was a success. In Fort Worth, Texas, there were 160 walking bus days. In Chicago had 130 and Los Angeles had 180. All 3 school systems implemented a walking school bus program for 2020. How the participants ranked in the standardized test scores: the 5th graders had an increase of 29%, 7th graders an increase of 19%, 9th graders an increase of 22% over the national average, and the control group, however, scored at the average level at the national average or below. There are limitations to this research. It is expensive. It was expensive to initiate. It was a lengthy study covering 33 weeks of a school year, and some cities or school districts may not have the resources to implement these types of programs in their schools. There's also a lack of parental involvement at home, which can lead to incomplete or inaccurate record keeping by the participant. As you can see, there have been other studies in this field. Studies that studied the impact of a lower aerobic exercise and the standardized test scores. Studies of the importance of aerobic activity on the brain and the side effects of recess before lunch. There was an observational study over the pricing and placement of healthier foods in an undisclosed high school. There are many areas of future research based upon this study. You could research the healthier eating habits by gender or age, the effects of exercise on gender in regard to test scores, the involving test scores relating between right and left-handed children, or longitudinal research based on the child's health as they age, or research on childhood obesity and adult cardiovascular health. In conclusion, while lacking in some true experimental testing procedures, this research can conclude that there is accuracy in the findings. Based on this and prior research, there's a direct correlation between exercise and cognitive thinking. There is a direct link between a higher BMI and exercise. Healthy choices will be made if presented in a fun and informative, appropriate way. There are drawbacks, but this research can be implemented to some capacity in any city. Ben Buettner introduced us to his discovery of the 5 healthiest regions of the world. And the purpose of this study was to examine the effects of the Blue Zone philosophies and the communities that are introducing it to their citizens. The study selected 3 cities that represented a cross-section of the United States, and the research put into place the tools to creatively reach the Blue Zone goal of a long, healthful life, starting with our children.